Eric
and Allie.
Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. We wanted to address y'all because most of you have heard about the NAR, National Association of Realtors lawsuit that just got approved back in March.
Back in March. It won't take effect until July.
Mid to end of July.
Right.
So what do we think about it, Allie?
It's stressing a lot of us out,
Yeah.
to be honest, because it will change the way we structure. But at the same time, we at Berkshire Hathaway and in Utah in general, we've had the contracts that could sort of clarify who pays for what all along.
Right.
So really, our buyers and our sellers have known where their money's going,
How it works.
and how it works, whereas other states, it wasn't clear, and that's what brought about the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So, we've been operating, same with California and their documentation. So that is not really a change for us.
But the biggest change right now is how it's disclosed on the MLS, the multiple listing services that the realtors provide. We can no longer offer compensation to a buyer's agent, correct?
Correct. And that's what's scary for those of us who love to represent first-time home buyers like myself, or buyers in general, because in our contract it specifies that the buyer will pay our commissions, or what we earn for taking them to sometimes as many as 130 houses for one buyer.
In your case, yes.
In my case, yes. And we've become obviously very good friends, which is great. But had I added up all my time, and I would have probably gone in the hole on that.
As far as your hourly rate.
Hourly rate, yeah. We don't, and people don't realize sometimes it's like we do not have an hourly rate as realtors. We represent our buyers as we take them around, and then there are the contracts that we deal with, and in representing them to ensure that they don't fall into a home that maybe is defective in some way. There's a lot of pitfalls in the negotiation process that buyers can find themselves.
They come into. I mean, I get Google reviews from my clients, and countless times I've had buyers say things like, "Without the orchestration of our realtor Eric, we wouldn't have gotten into this house," for example. And that's not a boast, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Because there are, like you say, so many things that can come up. And it's not just finding the house. We know that. And that's a hard part of the process, is finding the right house, getting the offer to be accepted, getting the right home inspector in there, making sure the appraisal goes through, making sure the title report is clear and conversations are happening. Another thing too is the emotion between buyer and seller. Right? Like, I know for me in my personal relationships, if I'm upset and I don't hit the pause button, truly pause, think it through, and then respond. But I've seen and it doesn't go well, but we've also seen in real estate transactions where somebody's upset, they want something out of the house, or whatever it might be, they're going to get more upset, and the possibility of reactions overriding from emotions how the transaction goes. Think of like the house you really love, but you didn't get it because you had a moment of ego. Right. And that's a huge part of why to hire a realtor on either end.
I saw a deal fall through because the buyer wanted a chair.
A chair.
And the seller would not depart with that chair.
Right.
And so
it
ended the deal.
Well, how many times have we had discussions with our clients, and those of us that are good at it, because we're supposed to be the calming influence. And if you get rid of buyer's agents, that calming influence, and we don't think buyer's agents are going away. And we have more videos to do on this. I really don't think so. It's just going to be different. It's just going to be different. But how many times have we had conversations and talked people off the ledge, and then they're still thankful.
Well, and or making sure that are you sure you really want to go forward with this house, because I see all these problems with this house, and making sure that they take and make an educated decision about what they are buying. Because real estate is sold as is.
Correct.
And sometimes we forget that. And the as is part can be jeopardize the deal, and can be scary for people. I always tell my clients, I want you to go in eyes wide open. Before we close, eyes wide open.
I love that. Yeah, and so we show them the options, we present all the possibilities, and then you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer or seller, make the final decision, not us. So,
and the seller makes the decision now whether or not they're going to compensate a buyer's agent, or going forward. That's correct. That's what will happen. They'll make that decision. So,
and how we advertise that now, because we're still going to have commissions involved in agent-to-agent transactions, but we are very well aware now that we need to do it differently. We're going to comply. We have to comply.
Right.
We're doing this video as an outreach, because I've had a lot of people, as have you, reach out and say, "Are you guys going to be okay? Are you getting another job?" All these things. Like, let's take a breath. We're in April. These are taking place in mid to end of July. We will figure it out. We still want to serve you as the public, and that's what matters. And as long as that's our goal, faith over fear, we're going to make it happen and serve you to the best we can and continue for decades to come. I don't want too many more decades, but decades to come, to serve people in their real estate transactions.
Correct.
Right? Anything else?
No, that was great.
Right on.
Thanks.